We're live. People, deluded, I'm back again. I know it's a bit of an early one, but I thought, you know what? I might as well experiment, man. What have I got to lose? I might as well see what works and don't work. Obviously, we're probably going to need to have a schedule with these live stream things, but I'm trying to find a thing like, can I run a little, every day or, twice a week? Can we do a little 10 a.m. stream and a little evening stream? I'm not too sure, but I had the urge to stream this morning. For whatever reason, I don't know. I just feel full of energy, ready to attack the week and whatnot. Later on, I'll be streaming with Turkish at 3 p.m. on my channel, so make sure you're aware and you're keeping the alert buttons and whatnot for when that one keeps popping off and whatnot. I'm going to bring out some content when this stream is finished. I've got some videos to edit, and you will see obviously the under 23s review, the 18s review. I think I've got a video on Arteta, so there's 3 more videos and an Arteta one to come. Well, 3 videos including an Arteta one, 2 youth, and a Turkish video to come today in addition to this. So there's 5 videos, people. So we keep going, we keep working. I'm ready to attack the week and ready to try and make my goals a reality, and I hope you're all doing it as well. Big up the 15 people checked in. Please make sure you hit the like button. So you lot gassed me, man. Omar, Kante up early, and you must have been up earlier. If I ever became a coach, I need people like Omar on my coaching team, because he is everything I look for. Young Mizzy, my guy, what are you saying? I'm there, my guy, man. Big up yourself. I know exactly who that is. Hayes is saying, let's go. You're right. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. South London's finest B is back again. Thank you very much to the 19 people tuned in. As I said, please make sure you hit the like button, people. Like you said, Omar, Kante work rate, Kante work rate. First one's first, people. And obviously, give me a sec. Give me a second, people. I've just got not an email, but a notification from YouTube. Okay, we've done that. Said it wasn't safe for kids. I mean, what? That's a bit funny. Big up Chris locked in as well, another moderator. So let's crack on, man. Let's crack on. Let me add that stream marker. Let's go with the first piece of business, and it's Virgil van Dijk, people. Now, for me, first and foremost, it's never nice to see somebody's injured in life. You never like to see someone's health is in question. And regardless of if I'm a Liverpool fan, which I'm not, I would love a player like Van Dijk. Even Van Dijk with this ACL, probably better than what Arsenal have. But on a serious note, it's upsetting. Injuries are part and parcel of the game. As Chris has said, Van Dijk has started every one of Liverpool's last 94 games. People talk about Van Dijk's ability, but people don't talk about durability. Klopp keeps the same team 9 times out of 10. I think that's underrated and understated, but it's also underrated how Liverpool have gone without getting these sort of injuries and whatnot. I know Thiago's had a little knock and missed out because of COVID. I know Alisson's had a little thing, and now with Van Dijk it gets longer, and it's sad to see, man, because like I said, it's a man's health. Van Dijk is only 29, isolated away from football. He's a young man, he's 29, but in footballing terms, he's still going to get back and have a good season. But if a 19-year-old got this and a 29-year-old got this, you get it. Time is of the importance. And as seeing someone for a number of years at Celtic, at Southampton, he's finally playing for a big club that he wanted in Liverpool. He's a main player. Like my man Chris said, 94 games. He's been central to winning the Champions League and the Premier League. And I'm sure him being the competitor he is, he wants to win that again, knowing that he faces, I don't think he's going to play any part this season, or if he does, it's towards the latter end. It's a kick in the teeth. Now, injuries happen, and it's going to test Liverpool, because like I said, the double-edged sword is when you've got this good team and everybody's foot is great, but it's depth now. If I'm Klopp, what does he do? Because obviously Van Dijk's a world-class player. There's going to be a drop-off in quality, whoever goes into that position. But who does he go with? I'm not sure on Joel Matip's fitness. They've got young Reece Williams, who I like the look of, but he's 19, and it's naive to expect. He might get more game time as a result, but it's naive to throw him in at the deep end sort of thing. Me personally, I'd go Joe Gomez and Fabinho at centre-half. I'm not too sure how long he persists with that. I actually saw a lot of people on Twitter entertaining the idea of Liverpool going into a 3 at the back. Well, I assume a 3-4-3. Can you go with a Trent, a Joe Gomez, and get away with it with a Fabinho? I don't know. I think you could. I think Trent could do that role, but I'm not too sure if they want to do that. Chris is on fire with the statistics, man. 80% win rate with him, 53% without him. Injuries are part and parcel. You know, if it wasn't going to be him, it would have been Mo Salah or Firmino or someone. Not that I'm wishing malice on anyone, but injuries are part and parcel of the game. They're going to have to fix it. I still think they're going to be up there in terms of the league title, but it is a significant blow. You know, there's substantial league football to be played. There's substantial Champions League football to be played. And without Van Dijk, it significantly weakens them regardless. You know, Spurs... Man said Spurs. Liverpool have been shaky defensively since the season has started, much like everybody, even with Van Dijk. So where are they going to be without it? So we're going to have to see. We're going to have to really see what happens, people. We're going to have to see what happens when your lighter won't work. Not too sure what you're on about there, but you have to come out because you're not serious. But anyways, back to Van Dijk. It's a significant blow, and you can imagine, you know, they have to act in January and sign a centre-half. I'm not too sure if they're going to sign someone of the same standard as Van Dijk because of the money required, or what area they're going to go, because, you know, apparently they looked at Brighton's Ben White, for example. He's going to cost a premium with the British tax that gets added on to a lot of young players. You know, there are, you know, scouts. You'd imagine scouts at Liverpool have been bringing up dossier reports on centre-halves, so there must be someone. I mean, imagine if Emre Can was still in the team. That's someone that could have helped, because I'm sure he can slot in that centre-half. Not that I'm saying that is the best. That's the best choice. For me personally, at least for the next 2.5 months, I'd go Fabinho at centre-half. I still think they're up there to win the title because, you know, looking at the Prem, you know, everybody in the league is shaky defensively. I don't think any, apart from Aston Villa, ironically, looks close to solid defensively. So Liverpool is not something to read into. But I don't think there's not really a clear standing runner for the league title so far in this season. You know, City are going to be up there, but City haven't been perfect. You know, Liverpool, even without Virgil van Dijk, should be able to do it. And, you know, that's a bunch of squad that, you know, I think Liverpool's togetherness will make them rise to the occasion without Virgil van Dijk in their team, people, because they'll say, we've got to do it for Van Dijk. You know, you've got Henderson, you've got some elite mentality people there, you know. I don't know who they're going to go with, because shopping in the Premier League, you know, you could go for Lewis Dunk. You could go for someone like Ben White. They're going to cost a premium. You know, Ozan Kabak, who apparently Arsenal and Liverpool wanted. How much is he going to cost Schalke people? I know he's been linked with them. We'll have to see. I'm not sure why Pickford hasn't faced any action, and apparently he will face no action. Now, again, it is a stupid challenge. It's stupid. There's no need for Pickford to do that, and Pickford's done that a couple of times. You know, even the man in question, Lewis Dunk, you know, he yesterday, well, I say yesterday, on Saturday, was it? In fact, was it yesterday or Saturday? I think it was Saturday, coming flying in off the ground for no reason. I'm being told there's no malice in it. Whether there's malice in it or not, it's stupidness, you know. Be serious. Now, for what it's worth, apparently Pickford said sorry and whatnot. Not that it's of relevance, but it's ridiculous, people. It's ridiculous, and it puts Liverpool at a disadvantage. But this is football. Klopp's no idiot. He knows injuries are part and parcel of the game. Van Dijk knows injuries are part and parcel of the game. Granted, you don't want it to happen like this, but it is what it is. You know, will Van Dijk play any part of this season? I guess we'll have to remain and see, because just because he, you know, let's just say they said you're out for 4 months, and 4 months comes, you know, just because the 4 months period is gone, it doesn't mean he's fit. You know, he needs to get his strength back in that ACL. He needs to get the confidence. He needs to go through the rehab. You know, the mental scars and the stuff through surgery and the rehabilitation, they all heal. It's up here. This might not heal for Van Dijk, or it might take a lot of time. You know, he might be reluctant to do several things. I don't think he will, but he might be reluctant to do several things because of the injury, or he might be doubting himself and whatnot. So we'll have to see, man. So, and you also got to remember, you know, at 29, there's the Euros. You know, he's not going to get to play through sheer age. You know, he's still got a number of years left in the game, but you could imagine he's not going to get too many times to represent Holland at the top level, people. You know, whether that be the Euros or the World Cup. Now, he'll probably make the next World Cup because it is back-to-back next year, in 2022 and 2021 for the Euros. But he's also got to think of that. You know, he was coming into this with a good season, and that Liverpool have won the title. You know, I've got to play well because I've got a Euros from my country. I also want to defend the title with Liverpool. You know, last season, if you were to kind of say if Liverpool had a bad season anyway, you know, potentially they let themselves down in the Champions League. So want to better at that. So fingers crossed Virgil van Dijk gets fitter again, because like I said, it's never nice to know somebody's injured. It's not healthy, especially as an Arsenal fan. I know full well how it feels, people, and whatnot, man. It is really sad, but they're just gonna have to get on with it, people, really and truly. Really, really and truly. 1 second, people, as I clip up this highlight. Virgil, what should I call it? Virgil van Dijk's injury could be what makes Liverpool win. Could be what Liverpool even more hungry for the Premier League. Fabinho. Sorry, let me change it, people. Apologies, man. Virgil van Dijk's injury surely means Fabinho, CB, and a new defender in January. Apologies, people. Since I found out about this feature where you can clip up segments, I'm never getting rid of it. People, it makes everything so easy, man. But yeah, man, that's what it is. That's what it is. Big up my guy Ethan. He said, I'd play Fabinho and Matip at the back. Gomez is suspect at times. Matip and Fabinho would be a lot more solid. I get you. But I'm a big Gomez fan. I can't even lie to you, my guy. I like Gomez, man. I get what you mean. He does some booky stuff, but I like Gomez. So I go Gomez, Fabinho, and Matip. Well, I mean, what I was about to say is, what even a 3-4-3 of Matip, Gomez, and Fabinho, or what even? I guess Matip and Fabinho in a pivot would be good as a centre half pairing. But for me, it's got to be Gomez and Fabinho, man. That's what I would go with. But there's no right or wrong. They're all neck and neck, you know. Ironically, I feel Fabinho's a better option than the both of them, really. The title race is wide open, my guy. But, you know, we've only played 5 or so games. Let's be easy, because a lot of conclusions are being drawn. People are saying Spurs are going to win the title, which could be true. They're not going to win the title if they cannot defend. You know, there's not one team that can defend in this league, in my opinion. You know, ironically, Arsenal's the second best team in the league off the top of my head, with a defensive record at this moment in time, and Aston Villa's first. I think Aston Villa have only conceded 2 goals and we've conceded 6. Now, if we're not naive, I'm pretty sure many Arsenal and Villa fans, come May, we don't expect to be up there defensively, but it shows the craziness of the league, people. It really does show the craziness. That's one thing I've seen. I think the game's gone away from defending. Don't get it twisted. Fullbacks are needed to go forward and those things, but we never speak about defending. We're speaking about goalkeepers way before saves. We're speaking about how good they are with their feet. You know, if we've gone attacking centric, how can we be surprised that the attacking elements of the game are dying out or have fizzled out, my guy? We can't really be shocked. And that's one thing I've seen. You know, no one really wants to defend properly. Nobody looks defensively solid. And that's why, you know, Liverpool don't look good by their own standards. Before they conceded 7 against Aston Villa, you know, Man City have had problems defensively, and Ruben Diaz is playing quite well and he's kind of doing his thing. But yeah, look at Spurs. As I was saying, people are saying Spurs winning the title and whatnot, and maybe they could, you know, with the signing of Bale, with the amount of signings they've done. I think Levy's done a crazy thing, but they're not going to win any league title if they can't defend. You know, Harry Winks is coming off the bench and has a hand in 2 goals conceded. Davinson Sanchez has an own goal. You know, it doesn't matter how good Son is and how much on fire Son has been in the early part of the season. It doesn't matter how great Harry Kane has been, and Harry Kane, without a doubt, is a complete forward. If you cannot defend. And the same goes for Arsenal. I'd say Arsenal's problems are a bit different at present, in that we don't seem to be creating enough, shooting enough and whatnot, and we are somewhat solid defensively a tiny bit. It is what it is. Interesting point from Hassan. He reckons 85 points will be enough to do it this year. Who knows, man? Who knows? That's an interesting point, man, and I guess only time will tell. Let's move on and see what else you lot are saying. Further said, have you copped Wenger's book? Have I copped Wenger's book? Can't you see my makeshift bookmarker? The alarm went off, apologies. But can't you see my makeshift bookmarker? Of course I've and all my notes are flying around because of you, but of course I've got Wenger's book, man. That's the granddad. Of course I got Wenger's book, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone. I don't want no one to spoil it for me, so I'm going to keep reading. I want to finish it this week, to be fair, because I want to do my review, but I've not had time over the weekend as much as I thought to bust a review, people, of it. Apologies for my notes. You can see, look, these are all player notes. These are all match notes. These are all various notes. The only thing I can't do is write, people. My handwriting sucks. And I'm happy I live in a time where, you know, handwriting isn't really relevant because we're all using computers. Must have not been nice at all, man. Must have not been nice at all, man. Must have not been nice at all. Chris, say it again. We have the best defensive record. Come on. The real Gianni. I'm seeing all the regulars popping up, man. I thought you lot would all be at work or tired or whatever. You're all popping up, man. Big up everybody tuned in right now, man. Yeah, it does. Big up Martinez. I mean, time will tell. It needs to, you know, there's a lot of conclusions being drawn on players, on teams, you know. Only time will tell. If that still happens in May, plaudits all around. I hope so, and I hope that surprise winner is Arsenal, because, you know, statistically, if you look at how Villa is starting and you look at a lot of statistics floating around, you know, the last time Villa did a lot of these things, Arsenal won the league. So no one would be more happier than me. I want to benefit from that, but I think City are going to be the ones to win it again, but bounce back and win it. But we'll have to see. Big up Adam for muting his uni lecture. Make sure you're still getting them grades and that, people, man. Make sure, man. I don't want to be the reason you messed up, but I respect it. I think Van Dijk will be out for the season, or he's going to at least miss a significant part. And I think if I'm him and I'm Liverpool, you know, I think they want to get it right, you know. Get at his age and how vital he is and the money they've spent, don't rush him back, you know. Get him back when it's back. If it means you have to write off this season, it is what it is. They have to bring in a centre-half, because you saw how vital losing a defender is with City last year and Laporte. But they need to get it right. At 29, they can't really afford mistakes. So for me, if I was Van Dijk personally, I'd write off this season and just be focused on my rehab and trying to be somewhat fit for the Dutch national team. Where's my man is because Van Dijk himself spoke and he said, I am now fully focused on my recovery and I will do everything possible I can to be back as soon as possible. Despite the obvious disappointment, I'm a firm believer that within difficulty lies opportunity. And with God's help, I'm going to make sure I run better, fitter and stronger than I ever have before. In life, in football as in life, I think everything happens for a reason, and it's something to try and keep level-headed, whether going through highs and lows. And I think that's fair. You know, he's riding high. He's gone from Southampton, bossed it at Liverpool, doing everything, and he's been shot down. And again, you know, Van Dijk has elite mentality. This is a case of his mentality. Forget football. You know, he's probably going to struggle to go up the stairs and you know, go toilet and things like that. This is going to be a real big test. Like I said, it's all a mental. At some point, he's going to be back at Liverpool's training ground on a bike when he sees through the window Klopp and all of these people working on tactics, doing kick-ups and the rest of it. It's going to be an incredible journey for Van Dijk mentally, but, you know, I wish him all the best, man. I really wish him all the best with what he's doing, really and truly. I liked that the players stuck into the game plan. You're speaking about City. Yeah, it does, my guy, but I don't really necessarily agree with that. You know, Fabinho's a good passer, he intercepts the ball very well, but they're pressed for options. You know, they have to work on something. I think you slap Fabinho in defense. You've got Thiago, Wijnaldum, and Jordan Henderson to pick from in midfield. I think you can get away with that personally if I'm Liverpool. But I respect your opinion, Chris, man. Just big up everybody in here with all their opinions and whatnot, man. You're right, man. Pickford should get a couple bans, man, and it's a bit mad. I'd prefer Dybala over Aura as well, but I mean, punching, don't you think? Punching. I mean, if you're Villa and United, you're laughing, man. Somebody's asked me, who would I partner with Gabriel? Who would I partner with Gabriel if we go to a back four? Difficult one, you know, difficult one. For me, you know, ideal world, Saliba, let's get that partnership going. Gabriel, probably David Luiz right now. Wouldn't mind Holding and Gabriel, they've worked together a lot. So I'd say Holding / Luiz would be my partners. Not that there's much to choose from, really and truly, my dude. I big up Khalid, man. Big up Khalid. Jason Leng, it does suck hearing that about Van Dijk, man. Trust me, I was amazed by it, but again, we're in October. If it's still up there in May, by all means, we'll do our thing, man. Do you think that wait, before I get to you, my guy, I hope it's wide open, my dude. I hope it's wide open. We need that, man. We need that. Interesting. Hopefully, I don't want Spurs to finish ahead of us, Nicholas, but hopefully, man, I'll just take top 4 at this moment in time. We ain't really had it, man. Try it, man. I thought that would be easy. I thought it'd be silly not to do that, my dude. It'd be silly not to do that. Big up George out there in Baltimore, man, tucked in and whatnot. Um, but we've got, is the Premier League overrated? And I think, just as Omar said, we're clipping up stuff. This is a fantastic one to clip up as well. Is the Premier League overrated? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think one thing I think the league lacks in, I think the league lacks quality. I think the league lacks consistent quality. I think there are some quality teams, there are some quality players, but I just think in comparison, like if all the Spanish teams, in my opinion, played all the English teams, you'd see better football from the Spanish teams. That's just me personally. Not that the English teams don't play ball. I just think a big reason as to why I don't think English teams are as tactically spot on, and why we get embarrassed in Europe at all levels, whether that's Europa League or whatever, is because of the money. English teams can afford, English teams, all teams can, but English teams, if you got an injury as a centre half, with Liverpool, obviously it's a bit different, but the Liverpool example, my guy, we're screaming, Liverpool fans or Liverpool were saying, oh, they got to go out and get a defender. In other countries, they're like, oh, we've got to work with what we've got to improve what we've got to fix problems in house. That's why you see less frequent sackings in other leagues and less frequent money splash sort of thing. That's why I think the IQ is better. If people would say Atlanta's not a big club, but if Atlanta of Italy will smack many teams in the Premier League, because they haven't got a big budget, so they've had to utilize what they've had. I think the Premier League isn't overrated. I think in terms of entertainment, it's the best league. City will go and smack one team and then get smacked to Leicester. Leicester will smack a team and get smacked to West Ham. West Ham will come back from 3-0 against Spurs. It's crazy. Villa are beating Liverpool 7-2. It's the sheer randomness. It's the same. It's the intensity of the league. It's the randomness of the league, which I feel benefits. Anybody can beat anybody. Results are crazy. The blood, the passion, the intensity of the game, the pace of the game. These are all things for me, which makes it the best league in the world. Now, if I'm talking about quality and where I get enjoyment in terms of the quality of football and just from a footballing perspective, for me, I enjoy the French and the Spanish leagues typically in the games, mainly the Spanish. I just like the France games. I think they're a bit more even. Teams in the Premier League are starting to play football. Leeds have just got promoted and went against Liverpool and City, the two top teams in the land last year, with the same intensity and in the same with the same way. They attacked. I just think I don't think it is. I think, like you said, defenses are rubbed out. Defenses are washed without a doubt. Southampton conceded 9 or so last year. Every team is doing a madness this year defensively, to the point where Arsenal and Villa are the best teams defensively. So I think the Premier League is the best league in terms of entertainment. I don't think it is in terms of overall quality, my guy. So hopefully I've answered your question to the best of my ability there, my dude. But I'm going to add that one into the videos. The Premier... Of course not. What other league has this level of entertainment? There we go. Apologies, people. Just had to clip that up. It gets the thing goes. Big up the 197 people in here, people. Please get the like button going, man. It don't cost nothing to like the video. Spare early in the morning as well, people. Hit up the like button. Let me go through this and see what else you lot are saying, people, before we get into what I actually want to speak about. I don't understand Arteta route. This is the thing I hate about football fans, and this is another one that's going to get clipped, people. This is a thing that I hate about football fans in general. Yeah, it's the agendas. It's everyone wants to be right rather than support a manager, ask legit questions, praise and critique him fairly, and then whatever. It's like some people just want to ridiculously back Arteta to the sake of it, where you're just being pro-positive, or just Arteta could tell you the sky is orange and you're not disagreeing with him. That's not going to help. Equally, there's some man that didn't feel Arteta from the start, the lack of experience, ready to jump on him at any moment. I don't personally see how any of this is helpful, my dude, because it's just everybody just wants to be right. Everybody wants to just, like I said, ridiculously back Arteta, because to turn around one day and say, I told you, or, negative way. Apologies for scratching my nose, people. My nose is itching. Yeah, like I said, just want to back him on a positive thing, just to say I told you so. Ah ha ha ah ha. Same way in the negative one, I told you so. He was never the man. He was never the man. You know, for me, that's not supporting the club. Arteta is our manager. In the same way, I hated Emre in this position, but I supported him because he's the man. I can have my criticisms of Arteta. I'm not saying you can't have your criticism. I'm not saying you can't question his tactics and his decisions. He's the manager. Because the same way he's getting praised, I think he should get the same energy. That's my opinion, asking questions. But I don't think the agenda serves. If we go down months down the line and it becomes apparent that Arteta isn't learning from mistakes, isn't applying what we need him to apply to, and he isn't the man for Arsenal moving forward, then we'll revisit that and we'll clip him. You know, right now, I think he's deserved the right to be supported and show that he's the man to at least lead us down that change. Like I said, we revisit the position if elsewhere. You know, nothing else is going to be solved. People are calling him tactically inept and all of these things. He got his tactics wrong against City. He holds his hands up. He was poor. You know, he overcomplicated things. Defensively, it was spot on. There wasn't much more going about it. You know, he put square pegs in round holes with the Willian false nine experiment. Harsh critics will say that's not the game you should have really done that. Harsh critics will say Willian shouldn't even been on the pitch anyways. Arteta has to face the music for that. But let's not act like he hasn't outsmarted Liverpool once in the league and once in cup competition at Wembley. Like he hasn't beat City. Like he hasn't beat Chelsea. Even though we lost to Chelsea at the Emirates, you ask Chelsea fans, we had them. You know, the players threw it away in the last 15 when Tammy scored, and I could have been Jorginho as well. I could be wrong. You know, Man United at home. You know, there's been several incidences Arteta has got it right, and he has done dodgy things, whether that's bringing Mustafi, go free at the back, or do Buki things on the wing, and it's worked. It's not going to work all the time. It hasn't worked throughout Pep Guardiola's career, and it's not going to work for Arteta's. You know, just support the manager. Like I said, you don't supporting doesn't mean everything he does you don't question and you just agree with it. It doesn't mean being negative about everything. It means praising and critiquing fairly. When he's done well, we hold our hands up and say you've done well. Where you've done poorly, you've done poorly. And that should be it for the players as well. There's too much agenda stuff with the fan base, whether they're YouTubers, whether they're normal fans, whether whether they're people trying to get 5 minutes of fame and socially clipped incidences online. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. Arteta deserves the support right now in October the 18th, I believe the date is 19th. Apologies. I believe Arteta's the man. If we get to somewhere like, let's say, the 19th of March, where things are not happening, we're not improving, and things I was calling for Arteta to improving, they're not improving, then I might be looking at the position differently. Or the 19th of May. You know, only in football is it a crime to change your opinions. Only in football is it a crime to not have a particular wayside. Why can't we just have a middle ground? Why a man got to be ridiculously pro-Arteta and ridiculously anti-Arteta? I'm pro-Arteta in that I support him. It don't mean I condone things he's done, because I don't get it. I don't understand Saliba not being involved. I agree with him because he's not been training and whatnot, but I don't get it. I don't understand the allegiance with Willian. I don't understand when he plays Joe Willock sometimes. I don't understand, regardless of Ozil's stuff, you know, Ozil not being in the lineup as well or involved. You saw the lack of creativity. There's a lot of things Arteta does that I don't like or I don't understand, but he's the gaffer. I support him because he's shown me enough to believe in how he handles it with the individual players, how he's acted with as a collective unit. Like I said, you move forward in the future. If he shows he's not levels, he's not levels. But I don't like how the pitchforks are up. And this is football, you know. Next week, if he beats Man United at Old Trafford or he beats Leicester or goes on a 2-game run, people are laughing, you know, people are smiling again. You know, the one concern I have with Arteta is he's not getting the best out of us in an attacking sense. You know, he's shown we can improve defensively. He's shown me enough defensively to say, cool, if you get one more centre half or the longer the season goes on, we might not be perfect, but there's a dramatic improvement. You'd imagine, you know, fixing our attack is easier to do than fixing our defense. You know, we've got the players. We're not shooting enough. We're underperforming. The players have to take responsibility, but at the same time, we're not shooting enough. You know, I think where is it, people? Let me reel up the stats. I haven't got the stats. It's in the last video. I can't even be bothered to go back for it, people. But you know, we're up there statistically for shooting the least amount of times in the league. We need to improve in that regard. Like I said, support Arteta. He deserves it. Again, if we review his position and in the future it's become apparent that it's not the thing for him, we move forward, people. It's as simple as that. But agendas don't solve anything. Wait, let me, what should I call this? Arteta out already. Mikel Arteta out already. let's stop being silly and support our manager. There we go. That one's been clipped up. So yeah, man, that's my opinions, my dude, man. That's all I got to see, bro. Like I said, frustration. You can be frustrated because I'm frustrated, but don't make you say silly stuff and go on and do a madness and stuff. I know football is an emotional game, but people need to not allow it to make them say stupid stuff, man. I would love him, man, but are we gonna get Szoboszlai? Who knows, man? Who knows? Until I see him. Like you said, is it a dying art or is it still there? It's just the sort of poetry and motion plays a dying art, and it's more the dynamic, more as Wenger said, the more athlete sort of thing. I'll leave you with that, my guy. NA has said, what's the point of short corners? I watch a bit of non-European football and they try it, doesn't work there either. Short corners can work, but I prefer long ones, but they can work. It all just depends on what you're doing, really, and what you're bringing to the table in that regards, man. Come on, my guy. Everything, Chris, man. I hope you're doing the same, my dude, man. Hope everybody's locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. There's 200 odd people in here. Can we get 200 likes, man? Come on, Colin, man. It's good to see you're here as well, listening to me live. It means a lot. Come on, Ethan, man. You're always here. That's my brother. I know him as well. Big up yourself, man. You can't buy a clean heart, and all of you have exactly that. All right, let's calm it down. He's looking good, but let's calm it down. Let's calm it down. Do you know what? No, it's not even that. I knew he wouldn't play because it's too early. I think he should. I think he should play. He should start. I think Arteta, based on the City game, it's either Xhaka or Partey. But this is what I'm talking about. Partey isn't going to fix our creativity. That's not him. And I'm not saying you said that, George, but I'm hearing a lot of fans talk up Partey's creativity and his ability to play a final pass. And I respect that. He does have more ability than man make out. He's definitely not just an athletic presence in the middle, but he's not the man for that. Do you get it? Like, he's not the man that's going to break down the team and do all of these things, man. It's crazy. Like you said, Joe, everything's got to be white and black. Like, everything's got to be either or. Why can't we just look at everything? Like you said, he got it wrong. It's that. Derek, like you said, it's not easy to outdo him tactically, but he did it at Wembley. Pep showed why he's the Don Dada in that game. It is what it is. That's all football game is. What manager outsmarts the other? It is what it is. It is what it is. And anybody moving mad with that, Arteta out thing, if you want to be the guy who was screaming Arteta out in October, maybe in hindsight in May, he's shown he's not the man, and you can say, look, I was telling you all the time, then you do that. But for me, I love my football club, and you lot always hear me when I have negative opinions or opinions that are not necessarily positive. I always say I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong about Joe Willock, and he shows me he can be a midfielder consistently for this club. I want to be wrong about a number of them defenders. I want to be wrong about Arteta in an attacking sense. I want to be wrong about bare stuff. I think Lacazette he's irrelevant to this, but Lacazette's a great player. I don't think he's a 20 league goal man. He hasn't shown it. I don't think he'll ever show it. I want to be wrong. I'll be the first guy running around Emerton, 4th Street, Tottenham High Road, right outside, shouting Lacazette, taunting Spurs fans if he does that. I want to be wrong. Like you said, people need to understand it takes time. People forget. That's what annoys me, my guy. Because under Emery, fair enough, he was the first new manager and all of this. And, Emery was unbeaten. And to be fair, the one thing I'll give Emery credit for is he started the playing out from the back thing, and many fans weren't happy with it. Emery got more credit. Maybe it's because he had the Europa League clout behind him, but Emery got more time. But you're not going to give time to whatever you say. Arteta is a novice. It's his first role. You're not going to give him more time. Someone that's shown you all more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like more Arsenal values than Emery did. And you allowed Emery every excuse under the boat. Man are coming out here under the sun, Man are coming out here and talking about chameleon team and all of these sort of things. And you're not going to give Arteta time. Praise and critique fairly, Even when we're turning games around in the second half, people saying Emery's the Messiah. And I remember I used to get a lot of hate on my channel when I said, if you have to constantly change the game in the second half, are you necessarily starting off the game rightly? You're not, are you? You're doing something. The players are doing something wrong, but you're doing something wrong. The Fulham game where we proclaimed we've got our Arsenal back. We actually had to come from behind, and it was a mad second half from us. if you remember correctly. But people like my man said, people like Joe said earlier in the comments, people like to see things in black and white. People can't just look at everything. Like everything's got to be either or. You're saying this, you've got to be this, or you said this opinion in 2006, so in 2020 you have to have that same opinion. Stuff evolves, things evolve. Aubameyang there wasn't a time Aubameyang could play for any top 10 team in the league, in my opinion. Now he walks into all of them. It is what it is. Come on, my guy. Come on, big up AM, always in the thing, man. Big up yourself, man. E3 boss again. I'm seeing so many usual names here, man. How you lot gas me? You lot are here early, bro. Respect, man. That's it. That's it. Every manager has their expiry date, you know. Football's a long time, you know. Football, it is what it is. I want Arteta to be the guy and be what Emre and Lombard to a degree and people before him couldn't do and return this club to where it should be. But who knows? Nicholas has said, what would your lineup for the Europa League be? Now, I'll do my preview and speak about this a bit more when I've had time to think about it, but there'll probably be a lot of rotation. I want Saliba to play. Forgive me if I'm wrong, people, but he hasn't been named in the official list in the Europa League, so I'm not too sure our plans for Saliba. But pardon me, I would go Runnison in goal. I think, you know, with all due respect to Rapid Vienna, this is a game where you could save Leno's legs and, you know, allow a man to make his debut as well. So Runnison in goal. I'll go 4-3-3, but I'm probably pretty sure it's going to be three at the back, people. So I'm going to go Runnison in goal. Back three. Now, that's where it gets a bit political. I would go David Luiz. I'm not too sure of Rob Holding's fitness, so I'll go David Luiz. Skodra. Is Mustafi fit? This is the thing. What is the fitness levels for our players, people? I need to actually see the team news, man. Is Mustafi fit? Is Mustafi actually fit? Apology, people. I'm trying to go on Arsenal.com because I don't want to be telling man I want them to play and then it's a bit of a madness because they're not there. For what it's worth, though, in relation to Rob Holding's injury, people. One sec, let me make another highlight of this. In relation to Rob Holding's injury, people, obviously he was about to play against Man City, and for whatever reason he didn't. Apparently he felt tightness in his hamstring. He's played a lot of football, and you know hamstring's a dodgy one. He could be out for a significant period of time, or he could be back in for next week, people. So it's probably, you know, he probably is not going to train. Well, we probably had Sunday off. We're probably back to training today, and obviously until the Thursday game, he probably won't train or probably be in recovery. But for what he said, Arteta, for what it's worth, I said we don't know how bad it is, but it was bad enough to make a decision to get Rob out of the game and to get David in. David was really focused, and I think he had a really good game. So it could just be a precaution. Forgive me if I'm wrong, didn't Tierney go through this, people? Tierney went through this as well and pulled out, and it wasn't nothing. It wasn't that deep. So it is what it is. But again, I can't see anything online about fitness problems or fitness issues. So assuming everybody's fit, my guy, Nicholas, Runnison in goal. I'm going Mustafi. I want to rest Gabriel, but you know what? I'm going to go Mustafi. You know what? You have to get away with it. I'd probably go Mustafi. I need a pen, bro. I need a pen. You've put me on the spot, dude. Runnison. Apologies. Runnison, back three. I don't know for Marie's fitness, so I'm gonna go. You know what? I'd keep Gabriel. I'd keep Luiz. I might even force Kolasinac at centre half. I'd bring in Maitland-Niles right back. Suarez, who played against United. Midfield, El Nene, Joe Willock. That's our 3-4, and then our 3. Lacazette's been starved, so Lacazette's good to go. I'd give Reece Nelson a little game time. And you know what? Even though he frustrated me, I'd give Pepe, my guy. So my lineup for the Europa League would be Runnison in goal, David Luiz, Gabriel Holding as our centre halves, Suarez and Maitland-Niles on either side in at fullback, El Nene and Joe Willock in the midfield, Reece Nelson, Pepe, and Lacazette would be our strikers. But I hope Rob Holding isn't going through any serious injury because he's had a good period, you know. Rob Holding's actually not lost against City. He's played them twice in semis, I believe, or twice at Wembley and won. And I think Rob Holding's a perfect player, which kind of polarizes opinion. And for me is another thing I was talking about in relation to Arteta and Arsenal and why everyone's either got to be agenda or not. I'm a fan of Holding. You know, Holding hasn't kicked on as much as I want him to, but I'm a fan of Holding. But equally, I'm open to selling him for the right offer. I feel if you've been watching Arsenal, he's been one of our best defenders so far this season. Now, again, so far this season, times can change, things can change. It's a long season. But I think Holding's had a good season and Holding's reacted very well to whatever Arteta's challenged him to. This was a man spoken of going out on loan or leaving permanently. And that's all it's about, man. I just want to see these players, when they get opportunities, take them. Like Mustafi should be gone. I don't like seeing Mustafi in the lineup. But when he's been given chances with Arteta, he's taken them. That's all you want to see. You want to see players taking opportunities. And especially in relation to the Europa League, you want to see man take opportunities. There's opportunities to be had, you know, in a healthy way. If I was any of them players, you know, Reece Nelson, Emil should probably start as well. He'd be on the bench. He didn't look too good against United. But, you know, Emil, Suarez, Saliba, Joe, Nelson, they were all involved on Saturday in against United's 23s when we played obviously away to Man City. I wouldn't want to play in the Europa League. I want to be a main player. So go and give Arteta a headache. And obviously it will help with a couple of our players if they can instill confidence. It's sad because Eddie probably deserves to start as well now that I look at that. But Laka's been starved of minutes. So we'll have to see what happens in that regard, really, my guy. We'll really have to see. Why can fans not disregard their own opinions and critique things? He spelled critique. Sorry, and judge players without bias. Cool, that's one's gone. Apologies, people. Big up the 200 people locked in. We're going again. Let's keep moving. That was a good question. And I actually thought I was doing a video there, man. Different guys, man. They probably have some similarities. You know, many managers have same similarities, man. Listen, the Wenger players thing is dead now. Like, the Wenger players thing is boring now, man, because they've been under Arteta. You know, we weren't screaming. I hear that, Michael, and I agree, but man weren't saying, I'm not saying you were saying that, but man, we're not saying that with Mustafi when he got his opportunity. Do you get it? For example. So it's dead now, man. Arteta has said Xhaka's his guy. So it's not nothing to do with the Wenger players. I think if you're saying, you know, he's not got his own players in, it is what it is. I get you, man. We need Martinelli ASAP, but we also need a fit Martinelli, and we need one that's not going to suffer any injury setback. So as much as I want him to come back, it's too early. Exactly. Stats don't always paint a true story. That's why you need to look at things both with your eyes and with statistics and use context with those stats. Do you get it? And also not be biased. It's that simple, man. It is what it is in that regards. When last did Aubameyang have a break? And maybe Aubameyang scoring in the Europa League would help him, but I agree, man. Aubameyang should play no part in the Europa League. Personally, I think so. Is it practical to get that done? I'm not too sure. You know, we're going to be faced against time, racing against time. People are going to know we're going to want to get that done. I hope we can do it, but I don't know. January is notoriously a difficult time to get business done. So we're going to have to see what can happen in that regards. Do you know what it is? Holding just does some brainless stuff sometimes. He's mad naive. That's one thing that really annoys me about Holding. He's mad naive, like mad naive. Like he does some silly stuff. You could start Partey in the Europa League, and that's a man I forgot, you know. Maybe, you know what, remove Joe and start Partey, you know. Really, you know, start Partey in there. But then again, you got El Nene, you got Partey. Is that expansive in midfield enough? Joe will probably get the nod, meaning Nelson probably missed out. But, you know, Partey probably get a 60 minutes there. When am I going to live stream? How can I live stream if I'm playing, my guy? Make sure you're following AFC Edmonton on YouTube and that and Twitter and whatnot. I can't stream I can't stream while I'm playing, my guy. But that's one thing that should get patterned. That's one thing that we should pattern, really. I'm going to get onto management, try get them to do it. We ain't got the best facilities and all of them sort of things and technology, but we can try. We need the tactics board back. Bro, go and check my last upload. Well, not my last upload, but let me go on YouTube. I uploaded the tactical review yesterday, bro. I did. I promise you I did, man. Let me go and pre it. What video was it called? What video? Yeah, Willian up front. It's the one that starts with the Willian hashtag. I done that, my guy. I can see it. If you ain't checked out, check it out. Go and check that, man. You're a real guy for that, man. I know a lot of you pre that, and I always think, is it worth doing them vids? But it's nice to know you lot like that, man. Because I think he's gonna go with 3 at the back. I'd go with a 3 at the back. I mean a 4 at the back. Apologies, but I think he's gonna go with a 3 at the back. I don't think Mustafi's fit myself, but we'll have to see, man. And Leon's coming with the facts. The biggest thing you can learn in football, maybe any sport, is the ability to adapt. Maybe you learn to control more if you lose pace. Maybe your ideas change. This also applies to fans. Facts, Leon. Facts. Facts. Big up everybody locked in. Like I said, I'm seeing a lot of regulars. I'm seeing a lot of new people. It's a madness. If DJ scores, we're on the pitch. If DJ scores, we're on the pitch. I'm liking that, man. Hey, be easy with that little bro thing, bro. Bro, God, be easy. Patting yourself. Come on, man. Love Bob Marley. I'm assuming he's out for the rest of the season. I'd agree with that. We do respect opponents, at least right now, a bit too much. That's a good question. I think you can see the evidence. I think little bits and pieces. I think he's just got a handbrake here, Lau, and I can't disagree with what you're saying. I don't necessarily think he parks the buses, but I do think it is a bit too defensive centric, and that's a good way of looking at it. That I can't disagree with what you're saying. Big up Richard, man. Big up everybody locked in from America, and big up everybody in Ohio. But there's no creativity, and that's the thing for me with Arsenal. Like, we can speak about bringing in Ozil, putting Willock there, putting Joe there, Emil there, this, that, and the third. You know, bringing in a creative man, but that's only half the job. You bring in a creative man, you need to, you know, the system needs to improve, and we need to provoke more attacking situations. You know, Ceballos can't do this thing by himself. The new man coming into this team isn't going to change it in themselves. Do you get it? In the same way, you know, Gabriel is a quality defender and he's showing it. Gabriel alone isn't going to change our defensive fortunes. We need to improve defensively, collectively as a team. Do you get it? So that's what I believe, man. Big up, gonna talk. Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself. 47 minutes in, 240 people in here, man. Big up everybody. Make sure you hit the like button. It don't cost a thing. Saliva. You mean Saliba, as you've said. He is a shout, but I don't know for registration. No, I don't. But I do think he can have a positive season, and all players are different, man. All players are different. Tell him again, Bob Marley. Tell him again, man. I'm not even going to add anything on. You said it there, man. I think that's enough time for everybody to read that paragraph and take it in. We shouldn't underestimate Rapid Vienna at all. Every team in our group stage should be taken as Bayern Munich. But at the same time, let's keep it honest. You know, whether we play our A team, our B team, even our C team, it should be enough to get out of this group and get a positive result, even if there is rotation. So there should be rotation, but there shouldn't be any complacency. I 100% wholeheartedly agree, my dude. Facts. We don't create enough. It's a fact, my guy. It's a fact. It's a fact. It's an unhealthy fact. Maybe he should. Maybe he should, but at least for 2.5 months, there ain't nothing he can do. Pepe's a frustrating guy, man. I'm not going to lie, but I think he is going to come good, and he needs to seize his opportunities. He never seized it, you know, because for all the fans going, that's why Arteta, why doesn't Arteta play him? Why doesn't Arteta play him? You know, not that Arteta would, but Pepe's giving it around to go turn around and say, yo, this is why he ain't been starting, fans. I've given him a chance. He ain't taking it. You know, it don't really make sense when you got Willian dropping stinkers and not really like every manager's got favourites. It appears Arteta is playing favourites. And I would like to see that stop, but it is what it is. Errol Spencer said, how can Arteta keep playing Willian, Bellerin when they've been poor and can't afford Lacazette, Maitland-Niles and Pepe, the same luxury? I don't know. It's playing favourites, man. It's playing favourites. I have to say, I back Arteta all the way, but that's all I can say. I would start him. I'd start him. Same, bro. I think he's looking good. But you know, Holding's capped. That's as good as it's going to get for Holding. I think he could just be a little option for us in the team, which I don't mind. I don't know for first choice, and I think we need a next one. Come on, my guy. I do, of course. I think he did. I think he did. I think he did. You know, Pep learned his lessons. Even early on, you saw Pep. They were pressing us, and we got out from the press a couple of times. And it's like they said, "All right, don't press them. Drop off. Let them play, and we'll win it." I think Pep put respect back on his name, and he hoodwinked Mikel Arteta. In terms of tactical battles, you know, it's 1-1 firmly now, man. Is what it is. Is what it is. I would like to see Marie start, but again, fitness. Don't know if he's fit. Don't know for him. Is what it is in that regard. Aye, man, I'll probably let us down in terms of technical quality, but the heart would be there, man. You know, I wouldn't mind a young little right and left back. But when you lot tell me, oh, he doesn't go forward, his level of crossing isn't good enough, blah blah blah. It's not good enough. Who knows what will happen there, man? Respect. I assume you're a fan either based. Well, something's telling me Australia, but I don't know. I guess you're not based in England, and I respect that. Respect that. It's ridiculous the amount of times you have to get up to watch the football. Ridiculous, and that's why I don't really like when people get onto international fans, because the same commitment it takes to wake up at effing 3 o'clock in the morning when you've got to be up at 8 or 6 in the morning, you know, it's the same desire for that man with the season ticket and all them things there. I'd take Calvert-Lewin at Arsenal, but see with me, with Calvert-Lewin, he's scoring goals, he's advancing himself, he's a bad boy footballer. The next step for Calvert-Lewin, and this would be another one to clip up. You know, the next step for Calvert-Lewin, Christian, for me, is what you know, and it's going to be said, what is he doing without the ball? You know, what's his general play saying? I don't think he's a striker for that, you know, in terms of looking pretty and stuff like Lacazette. But what I like about him, he's a bully. You know, he's been a very good, you know, from when I first found out about him, and I tweeted about him it wasn't the first time, but I remember my tweet in 2016 when he played for England. You know, he mucks in, he works the channels, he chases lost causes, his hold up plays good. He's always been able to header, but he just needs a bit of polishing, and that's what he's getting. You know, I think he needed confidence and polishing. Goals always give confidence to strikers. When you have someone like Duncan Ferguson, an Everton legend in your corner, it's going to give you a spring in the step. When you've got a world-class manager like Carlo Ancelotti, also, you're going to get a spring in your step. You're going to play better. You know, long may his form continue. And you have to credit Calvert-Lewin. Everyone always credits other people for their form. Credit to Calvert-Lewin for the extra hours of practice he's been doing, whether that's, you know, strength training, headering training, movement training. I would take Calvert-Lewin at Arsenal. I think the next step for Calvert-Lewin is what is he doing in terms of general play. I'm not talking play. We know he's good with his back to goal. He can hold people off. What is his link up? Now, he's not a striker known for that. And, you know, you have to judge a book by its cover. He's a man that, you know, you got to give him service. He'll score. That's cool. But he's got to offer a bit more. And it's silly, but it's almost like the type of goals. When you're not scoring headers, obviously he scores more than headers. What goals are you scoring, you know? Are you an overall threat, or are you just an aerial threat? So we still need to see way more in his general game. But I would take Calvert-Lewin at Arsenal. He's an Arsenal fan. He's someone that could actually we could actually use to exploit other teams' set pieces. You know, he can hold up the ball. The only thing is, obviously, you kind of waiting to see if he can prolong and sustain this form and this elevation as a player. Like I said, you want to see a bit more variety to his goals without, you know, obviously giving him justice. Crucially, it won't work because within the last couple of games or towards the end of last season, he's gone from being maybe 20, 15 million pound player to 50 and beyond. He's played and scored for his country. He's starring for Everton. He's got the English tax as an English player anyways, and obviously selling to a direct rival. He did come up an Arsenal fan, so hopefully that could be a thing, but I don't think it's going to happen for us. I think it's wishful thinking. I don't think it's going to happen, but I wouldn't mind it, man. I wouldn't mind it at all. Would you take Calvert-Lewin at Arsenal? I would, but I want to see a bit more from him. And there we go. Put that up, clip that up. There we go. A next little clip for you guys. I love doing these little things. I can't like live streaming with you lot now, people, man. I've got used to it. Funeral football, someone said, let's keep scrolling, man. Would love it to happen. Would love it to happen. Dream chasing, though, man. Life on Planet X is killing me. I think that boat's gone personally, Jay, but I'd love to hope so. I'd love to hope, man. I'd love to hope, man. A man can dream. A man can dream. A man can dream. But moving away from that though, people. Yeah, he's a baller still. He's a baller. Big loss for Chelsea still, and he'll have a good career. Moving away from that though, people, I want to speak about some things I was originally here to speak about. You all saw the Spurs game. You all saw the Spurs game. You all saw the poor defensive outlook from Spurs, as could be the case for many teams. But you saw Harry Kane. Listen, he plays for Spurs. I'm a big fan of Kane. I'm a big fan of Kane, and he is a complete player. When you speak of Kane, you think of goals, but he's showing with the assist and just a general play going into that false nine role. He's showing someone, obviously, he's different from Firmino, but he's showing Firmino fans that try and let Firmino get away without scoring because he allegedly assists and contributes so much defensively and in attacking sense that you can do it all, people. Kane is very much a great player, man. And how long will he stay at Spurs? I think he's going to stay his whole career there. But you'd imagine a move should be off. There's a lot of talk of Kane forcing a move from Spurs. I don't know if it will be true, people. I mean, we've got to speak about Aubameyang's lack of goals. It's about 4 or 5 games he hasn't scored now. For whatever reason, he hasn't scored. I don't know why, but I believe he'll get back to goal scoring ways. It's just one of those. It's just one of those things, people. Moving away from that as well, people. Werner, I've always said I think Werner's going to be a Premier League hit. I think he's going to be a hit, and those 2 goals against Southampton are going to give him the world of good, man. You saw he looked thuggish and whatnot. It's crazy. Son's a crazy threat. Son's got the movement, he's got the pace, he's got the skill, but Kane's just a gunman in front of God. I'd say both of them, really, man. Gassing it up a bit, Rowan, but why not, man? Why not? And what I'd want to speak about, people, and again, a lot of people have been DMing me this one in particular, and this will be what I leave you guys with. People looked at Fofana. Now, Fofana made his debut, had an encouraging debut just by looking at it for the teenager. He made the most clearances with 9. He won the most duels in the air with 7, and he intercepted the most with 6. Fofana is a young man. He's in the Premier League. There's going to be times he gets exposed for Leicester and he has terrible games. Pardon me. Big up Random for your love for Singapore, my guy. Soyuncu is injured, so maybe Fofana's going to get thrown in at the deep end more. Ben White is going to have moments. Nathan Ferguson at Palace is going to have moments. There's been moments for young defenders. Gomez, a couple of years back at Liverpool, they're going to have moments. But what Fofana has been afforded to with Rodgers is being exposed to making those mistakes. No one wants mistakes, but you need him to get rips. Look at the strikers he's coming against in the league. Fofana is a good player, but he's coming against Sergio Aguero, Werner, Mupay, the United front three, Harry Kane, and all of these, man. They all Aubameyang even. For Fofana's case, he's going against different players. He's going against target men, against false nines, against people that are going to lean on him, people that are going to hang on the last edge of him, people that you're not going to see for 89 minutes, that you're going to see them in the 90th and they've scored. He's going to have a tough education, and Fofana got his chance after Saliba, so I have to wonder how far Saliba is with Arteta. I know people will say Leicester and Arsenal are 2 different clubs, despite the fact Leicester have qualified for the Champions League and won the Premier League in more recent times than we have. We can rely on past glory and whatnot, but we're not gonna get anywhere with that, really. So I think if you can play for Leicester, you can play for. Look at Soyuncu. People were saying Soyuncu is not levels. He's going to be a big loss being out for 3 months with Leicester. We need our experience. We need players to get experience. Don't get it twisted. If Arteta doesn't reckon Saliba is ready right now, I support it because he's the manager. It's his neck on the line. Manage players. People bang on for these players to start. They start. They get destroyed. But you have to wonder, one, is it really valid with Fofana playing for Leicester and playing under Brendan Rodgers right now, especially as we've improved defensively under Arteta and seems to have a more of a great emphasis on defending and a bit more resolute? Surely there's more reason to throw him in there. You have to wonder, how far he really is off the pace? Many people say what Arsenal are trying to do and what Leicester are trying to do are 2 different things, and they're true. But we will never know if Saliba really is off the pace right now, whether, the off-field things are affecting him, whether Arteta's actually wrong in these suggestions, which I don't think he is because he's the one seeing him. But one thing's for sure, the situations are different. Especially when you don't know exactly what's going on for both players. You know, we don't know everything with Saliba and everything that's contributing for him not playing. You know, but you'd imagine if Fofana can be exposed to the Premier League, Saliba can. And I have to wonder what has changed in that regards for Saliba, because Arteta spoke on him quite highly, and then it's kind of changed, and he still rates him highly, but it's still more of a handbrake one. And for what it's worth, Saliba was very good against Manchester United's under 23s. You know, the whole team let themselves down at a corner. We was marking zonally. It did look like it might have been Joe Hugo was offside for the goal, but he made the run off Saliba. But we'll have to see. I think if Fofana can get opportunities, Saliba can. But I back Arteta. If Arteta don't think he's levels, it is what it is in that regards. But I would like Saliba to learn fast. I'd like him to play. I do think there's something to be said in for 2 months just training and playing under 23s. But at the same time, nothing prepares you more than minutes and being exposed to first team football, which this would obviously give him. People like Rohan has said, apologies. He deserves cup competition. You know, I'm not too sure if he'll play on Thursday because there was a lot of talk as to him not being registered. So who knows what is going to happen. But I think he should play. You know, for him to be that player of tomorrow, that France international and things, we need to get him there ourselves. And he's going to have them tough moments. I think especially playing free at the back, there's enough reason to play him. And there's enough, I don't know how to make it make sense, but we can hide him enough so that if he does have any flaws, if he is, you know, mad flaws and whatnot, we can help him sort of thing. But, you know, I don't mind us taking time with Saliba because at the end of the day, we spent 30 million on a 19-year-old. We want him to be our centre half for a couple of years, not just 6 months or so. So we need to get it right in that regards, people. So let's see what happens, man. Let's just remain patient. But let's see. Let me clip this up. If Fofana, how do you even spell Fofana? There it is. I mean, and you can for I knew Fofana was a baller. He looks like he's going to be an exciting signing for Leicester. He's going to make profit for Leicester, and he's someone that's going to be moved on. I said the same at Bordeaux about Jules Koundé. You know, I said the same about Saliba, and Gabriel. Fortunately, in Arsenal's case, for once we've been able to find a young, promising defender of sorts. So we'll have to see, man. Let me put if Wesley Fofana is ready for Leicester. How oh, that's not how you do it. How can Saliba not be ready for Arsenal? I lie. There you have it. I don't know personally, but we've got a super chat. The City game proved we need to play a flat midfield three. They overloaded the midfield, and our midfield two couldn't handle it. Good point. I like him, but if he was to play at a higher level, he needs to improve his output, goals and assists more consistently. Like you said, dirty, man. I think Werner's got that fuggishness about him with the technical ability to thrive here, man. Same, my guy. I don't think he will. But let's see, man. What do you think about? That's a good one. What do you think about? Assuming you're talking about Lamperty, want him at Arsenal, think he's a baller, think he's going to get better, and he's just unlucky. There's enough right backs in relation to England, or he'd be in the first team. He'd be in the first team England setup, surely. Hope you're wrong in that regards, man. Hope you're wrong, man. He's a very good player, Stu. Very good player, man. Come on, man. Smash the like button, man. Smash the like button. There's 246, so it says 238 now, but smash the like. What kind of nonsense is this? What kind of nonsense? Right back and left back, but I played centre mid as well at a point this season. Grief deluded. It is sad, but at the same time, you know, is that the only reason, or is that what we're going with? We just hear that as speculation. We hear training, we hear mother, we hear a lot of things we don't actually know. You know, I can see how that would play a part, but at the same time, football can be the greatest. It can be hard to play when you've lost someone like your mother, because football is irrelevant. But at the same time, it can be the best refuge. And at the same time, you know, his mother, him losing his mother, why I sympathize with it, and it's sad and it's a kick in the teeth. It shouldn't, it doesn't really equate to his level of football, whether his mum is alive or not. Forgive me for sounding like there's no feelings attached to that. It doesn't, you know. Can you defend? Can you, what's your level of your personal life isn't affected by, you know, personal life doesn't affect your ability to, you know, what's his level of marking, what's his level of concentration, what's his positioning like, what's his tackling like, you know, what's his passing distribution. All of this, you know, has no relevance to not playing because you've lost your mother. If you've lost your mother and you're not ready mentally and you've not adapted, I get that. But I just genuinely feel that's a part and that's a factor, and we have to sympathize. But I just don't think he thinks he's ready right now. So we'll have to see, man. How you trying to tell me? Come on, man. Right, Rowan, come on, man. Pattern. I've spoken about this in my last video, so please go and check the last tactics board. I won't do that, any of that. Yeah, fully, man. It's about empathy and care, and that's why, man. You know, if it's that with in mind, Stu, then it is what it is in that regards, man. Yeah, no, I hear that, but it's in relation to the actual game. It has like it's not relevant, my guy. And like my man said, speaking on behalf of players is dangerous. We don't actually know, but one thing's for sure, he's evidently not levels right now. Derek said thoughts on Danny Welbeck joining Brighton. Good luck to him. It's a move that I didn't think he would get. I think he'd be stuck in the Championship. I think his role in the England squad is gone, but we know Southgate likes him, and if he's fit, you never know. You might be able to play your way into their plans. I'm not too sure that will be the case, though. One more question before I get out of here, folks. One more question. Why not one more question? Come on, man. Let's get one more in. All right, you lot don't want to get a question in. I won't force you lot. I won't force you lot, people, at all. I'm gonna keep it moving. You've got 5 seconds. Also, as well, people, before I get out of here, please make sure 3 o'clock. Turkish will be on my channel. We'll be speaking about Arsenal and them things there. So any Arsenal City questions, any Arsenal specific questions, hold off until then. 3 o'clock we go again. People, it's always a pleasure, but I gotta keep it moving. DG, I'm out. Oh, before we go. Hey, Chris, deal with that, man. Deal with that. Get rid of them. Don't be nice with them. Get rid of people. Live from Planet X has said Champions League winners this year is difficult, but right now I can't look beyond the current holders. Bayern Munich, they have the most complete squad. They've got age on their side. You know, PSG, are they fully there yet? Barca, Madrid, it seems like it's a bit of a transitional year. So who knows, man? Who knows? Come on, people, man. Come on, people. Mate, like I said, 3 o'clock we go again. But for now, people, DG.